Asphalt Stadium in South Africa's capital, Pretoria, is where we greet you from this evening as we bring you ongoing coverage of the CAF Champions League. And this match is the second leg of the second preliminary round featuring the 2016 champions Mamelodi Sundowns against Passe of the Seychelles. It's a very good evening to you from Fortress Loftus. It is the home of Mamelodi Sundowns, and indeed, even though they played at the same venue 5 days ago, tonight they will be playing as the home side. Of course, we have that curious situation where, of course, because of the ongoing challenges with facilities across the continent, clubs such as Passe do not have home grounds that are up to CAF standards, and therefore have had to play their home games away from home, as it were. Mauritius was an option, actually, given that that's where they played their last round match, where they came qualified for this round. But instead, there's some crafty negotiation by the Sundowns management teams managed to convince them to bring their home games here. And it works out perfectly, of course, for Mamelodi Sundowns, that they avoid the expenses and all the other inconveniences that come with travel around the continent. Well, here they are then, arriving. Steve Kompella, first off the bus, or the coach, if you prefer. The coach, one of the coaches, first off the coach. Very relaxed, as you might expect, a bunch of players amongst the Mamelodi Sundowns squad. They are pretty much, you would have to assume, you have to think that given the massive gulf in class that we saw last weekend, that they are pretty much into the next round, which will be the group phase of this competition. Alongside me is the coolest cat of the bunch on a hot sunny day in the capital, Pretoria. It is William Shongwe, a man who has played CAF, well, not Champions League, as it was known differently in those days, but it would have been called the African Cup back then. To now we have moved on to what is now the African Champion, or the CAF Champions League. Good evening to you, William Shongwe. Well, it is really a mismatch, as big as mismatch as you're likely to find in these type of competitions. Mamelodi Sundowns have scored some big wins. We'll get to those in a moment, but just your thoughts about how a team like Sundowns approaches a game like this, and more importantly, the visitors, you know, who are obviously up against one of the biggest clubs on the continent. How do they approach it?
For Mamelodi Sundowns, I think it is more like continuing just to work on possible combinations going forward, like you said. It is already a done deal.
Yeah. Tell you what, we'll carry on with that conversation, but let's first hear from the coaches. Julius Stewart had an opportunity to speak to them a little earlier.
Coach Mangoba, how do you approach this game, given you had such a big win just 5 days ago?
We have a responsibility to ourselves. We're always trying to bet our very best. So we will give it our best shot, because for us, we don't want to drop the intensity, and then that affects us in the forthcoming matches. We must be in preparation for our next match against Maroon, our next match against Pirates. So we will give it the best shot that we can.
So very important then for no complacency to creep in today.
No, we are that team that always want to win and always want to better our best, and there is no chance that we will be taking this match for granted, and whoever will do that will be out of the team very quickly, because we are taking this match very seriously. But the good thing is that our boys are very honest people. They will give it their best shot.
Quite a different looking team to the one we saw here on Sunday. Can you talk me through the changes, please?
Most of the changes are mainly tactical, also maybe trying to refresh the team as well, because we've got big assignments in this coming week. There is not even one of them that is forced. The goalkeeper we changed because we felt Riyad also deserved an opportunity. The centre backs, Motobi was playing in the midfield last time, and we felt maybe let's see him with Musa starting the match at the back, so that we can also give some minutes to Bongani in the midfield. Then in the midfield we have Mkulis, and we have also taken out Mukwena in that space, and we are also giving some minutes to Lebu, who's coming from an injury. So it's important for us to see how far he can go as well. Then up top, we've taken out Tembazwane and playing Gaston with the youngster Mailola, with Marcelo playing as a 10. So it's quite a lot of changes, I must be honest, but we also believe the players that we are giving a chance are the players that deserve this opportunity.
Good luck today.
Thank you.
Coach James, it's a big mountain to climb today. How do you hope to approach this game?
So we'll try to do our best in this game, as we know it is very difficult, but we've talked to the players. We have worked during the week, and we hope that we will do a better performance than last time.
What would you like to see improved today?
Mostly I want to have more aggression, because last time I think that the players give so many respect to this team, and better organization in our play.
And tell me about the team you've selected today. You've made 2 changes from the one that played on Sunday. Are those tactical? Just some more insight, please.
It is tactical, as we've changed one from midfield. I want more organization there, that the players can keep more of the ball. And the one in defense, we want more stability in there.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck today.
Thank you.
There you have it then from the 2 coaches, James Barra for the visitors and Mangoba Mngeti, of course, the Mamelodi Sundowns coach. Yeah, looking to try and get Sundowns once again into the group stages once again, and of course more than that, go beyond that, and I think they will feel like they've got a few things to rectify. They need to put something right after the disappointment of crashing out in the quarterfinals. That was a shock result, it's got to be said. Not against any slouch of a team, because the Ngolans Primero are a top side in this on the Southern African in Southern Africa. So there's certainly no pushover. So it was never going to be easy. So they'll feel like they've got to put that right. Will Sundowns appearing in their 14th Champions League, making their 14th Champions League by far. The team that South African team with the best record in this competition. There they are, Kabuyelo. Sundowns fans, as I said, enjoying an early evening out here on a Friday, start of a weekend. A chance to have a look at their side already. Parade what will be their squad and show their depth in this squad. And as we have a look at the fixtures, this of course South Africa's other representative in this tournament up against Petro Atletico. And that one is still at 0-0, as you can see, match underway. And our game shoes about to kick off. And then we have Zamalek up against Flambeau du Centre. Tell you what, there have also really been some surprise results. I can tell you the likes of defending champions Wydad and even Al Ahly were shocked in the first round of, or at least the first leg matches in this competition. So nothing is to be taken for granted, that's for sure. But even that said, you would have to think, William Shongwa, that this one would be a bridge too far for the islanders of the Seychelles.
Just listening to your coach, you can get the sense that he's already looking ahead. It's all about perfecting what they always try to do, even better, what they've done well already. You can see that their eyes are already into the next upcoming games, which for me, it's brilliant. You just don't sit just because you had a one-week success, and you start looking what you can do to improve the team's performance.
As I said, yeah. Defending champions Wydad, Casablanca and Esperance were both handed surprise defeats in the first legs of this round of a competition last weekend. Wydad going down 2-1 against Rivers United in Port Harcourt in Nigeria, while Esperance were beaten by Plateau United at the Jos Stadium, also in Nigeria, by the same scoreline. So they've got some work to do coming into the second leg matches there. Nice to see though, people streaming in here. It's not going to be the biggest crowd, but it will certainly have a bit of a vibe about it. Create a bit of an atmosphere. For Mamelodi Sundowns, William Shongwa, once again an opportunity to show off the depth of their squad. They've run the changes. We'll talk about those in a moment. But what you've come to expect is that regardless of the 11 that go out, the Sundowns will play the same way.
Which is a brilliant thing for the team to be able to afford that with every team that they put out. It's excellent. It's the work that they do behind the scene that affords them that opportunity.
As we welcome viewers joining us from across the continent and around the world as well, to Loftus Versfeld for this preliminary round, the second preliminary round match of the CAF Champions League between the 2016 champions Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa against Passe from the Seychelles. It is the home side, Mamelodi Sundowns, that enjoy a heavy lead, a massive lead going into this one, having scored 7 goals in the first leg, 7 unanswered goals. But listen, I think if you there is mitigating circumstances, if you like, that indeed the leagues that the two teams compete in, there's a big gulf in standards and in every level that you can read it. The South African League is so much more superior. The pedigree of the sides, I've spoke about Mamelodi Sundowns having played in this competition, playing in this competition for a 14th time, and having already appeared, of course, previously when it was known as the African Champions Cup, one appearance back then in the 90s, and now they've become a regular fixture or presence in the CAF Champions League as the teams make their way out to the center of, or at least onto the field.
Well, talking about Bara, he's had a great experience in as far as this competition is concerned. He's coming to South Africa for the 3rd time with 3 different teams, by the way. In 2015, he was coaching Light Stars, where they were beaten by Bidvest. And in 2018, Cote d'Or, which was beaten by Mamelodi Sundowns by that big, massive scoreline. And this time, it looks like it's not going to be any different against Mamelodi Sundowns again.
11-1 was the aggregate score in that one, and well, that is very much on the cards of Sundowns to match that record score there. There they are, a much changed side. Six changes in total from last Sunday, and starting in goal where Rayad Peters takes over from Dennis Onyango, and Musa Libusa returns in defense to come and captain the side, making his first appearance of the season. There's a first start as well of the season for young Cassius Mailula, the 21-year-old. Lebohang Maboya included in the starting lineup, also making his first appearance of the season. I just for Musa Libusa, of course, it's a third, not the first, but it's a third appearance of the season for Musa Libusa. Those are the substitutes then for Passe. They have made, at least the lineup and the subs, they've made the 2 changes of Passe. Roderick Rose comes into the starting lineup, as does Shane Emesta. Out goes Iroy Jupiter, the player who scored their own goal last week, and then Jean-Yves Choisy also drops to the bench. Iroy Jupiter, who scored an own goal, has dropped out of the squad completely then. So then, just from a tactical point of view, William Shongwe, what do you expect in terms of how Sundowns, let's start with Sundowns, how they will play?
The one thing that they always try to do is to improve the entries, which will obviously hope that they will result in goals, and the more successful passes from the back throughout the middle into the attacking third. Those are one of the things. In fact, the other thing besides just goal scoring is how they win back the ball, or at the speed with which they win it. So it's just about improving those areas of their game so that they can be a better team holistically.
All set then for action. There our match officials, all from Egypt, led by Mr. Eldin and his 2 assistants. Musa Libusa wears the captain's armband this evening for Mamelodi Sundowns, and captaining the side from the Seychelles is Don Franchet, one of 2 the duo of Fanchet brothers. His brother is on the bench for this one. So pose for the pre-match photos, and before hostilities will resume here. All to do for the visitors, but I think it's all an opportunity as well. Should look at it as an opportunity. You know, put yourself in the in the shop window. You never know who's watching, and you can catch an eye. The salute then from the Sundowns players for their supporters. And Passe, as I said, I don't think the result is of any importance here. It's about putting a best foot forward. There's the big man, Dave Nusad, the goalkeeper of the side, and also, you won't be surprised to hear, is a chef by profession. So,
Isn't that would have been a given even before you said it? It's Big Dave. He made a history, of course, a few years back. And so he's still at it. I would have thought by now maybe he would have hung up his boot, but not that man.
35 years old now. As we get underway, it is Passe in the green, the team from the Seychelles that get us underway, attacking the goal to the left of your picture. Mamelodi Sundowns in the yellow shirt and blue shorts of Brazil, and that's the nickname, the Brazilians. Passe is four-time champions of the Seychelles. The last of those titles having come back in 2009.
Only in 1992 was this club formed, and they only spent one season in the second division, and ever since then they've been in the Premiership. No sponsors in that league.
That's a very small island, of course, island nation, more the tourist destination than anything else. So the footballers are also most part-timers as a cross comes in, and immediately the big man called into action. Big Dave, as you alluded to.
That's why the success of those clubs is dependent on a few individuals. Passe, mainly from Gerald Labashe, who's the president of the club, a businessman, of course, and has been at the helm of supporting this team in just so many different areas. And a big up to him.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is an experience for them, and they've spent the week in South Africa. So I think it'll be a wonderful experience, particularly for the youngsters in the team. They've got a 19-year-old, look out for him, Asad Abudu, one of a pair of twins, and he's wearing jersey number 19, rather appropriately.
They would have loved to have spent the week maybe in a coastal place where they can enjoy a little bit of the sea that they used to as a holiday. But I'm trying to imagine, none of these are professionals enough to spend that long time away from home. How has that affected them socially?
I think they're just to be exposed to the type of training facilities that they would have had out here would have been a great experience, as a chance to test the big man in goal, Riyad Peterse, who is one of the 6 changes that have been made by Mamelodi Sundowns from last Sunday's match. Riyad Peterse getting a rare outing.
The good thing about Peterse, just about every time he gets called upon, I remember on rare occasions last season he got called upon and came in and performed that well. That for me is the standard that Mamelodi Sundowns are at.
Making his first appearance of the season is Riyad Peterse. Sundowns have a corner here. Could be an early tester here for the visitors. We were 5-0 down by half-time last Sunday. Gaston Sidinho helped himself to 2 in that one. He's lining up this corner here. it comes in, and flicked away by the defender. Now a chance maybe to break, but no way through there. Can't get past the big man, and Toby Mvala as Sundowns get into the box again.
Interesting movement into that box from the set piece of Mamelodi Sundowns in trying to just pull away those defensive patterns of Passe in that defense. Interesting if you to go back and just see how many players of Sundowns made different runs and trying to open up that central part of the box for the other players to run into. Very interesting.
Of course, South Africa's other representative in the CAF Champions League this season, Cape Town City, who are at home to, or rather, who are away to Petro Atletico in Angola. Now they have a 3-0 lead in that one. As you saw the score earlier, we updated the score. That one kicked off about half an hour ago. They have a 3-0 lead from the first leg. It's looking good there for them. Mentioned that there were a couple of results that were a bit of a surprise. Al Ali having to squeeze past the tricky Monastir side in Tunisia by a 0-0. That was away from home. Now this is some space opening up here. And looking to cut inside.
Easily dealt with by Riyad in goal after a decent pass from Lebusa.
Tapelo Morena. Who's also been used sparingly, or has found it hard to break into the Sundown side. Tapelo Morena has the flag gone up there. No, the flag had stayed down. But the pass just too long. Trying to be very patient going about it in a very deliberate manner, not in a rush to get the ball forward. Now they do. Little layoff to Mvala, Gaston Sirino, Morena. Looking to the back post, and did that go over the line? It looked like it did. Referee would only have had one look and would have had to depend on his assistant. But that looked like it had gone, it bounced behind the line. Danger not gone yet. Yes, Morena opens the scoring. It's taken 7 minutes. And Tapelo Morena opens his account for the season and his first goal in all competitions. And was made to look very easy there.
The fact that he finds himself so high in the pitch, and the lapse of concentration just from about everybody. This is as received unmarked, and he has time to actually bring it to his chest, and then eventually finishes with a lot of calmness. There was nothing the goalkeeper could do from there. And I'm just trying to look at the number 19, Assad, who could have easily anticipated what's more likely to happen next, and could have been there closer to Morena to put him off.
So it won't matter much that that looked like in the initial passage of play, it looked like the ball had bounced over behind the line. It won't matter much because Sundowns soon put that right with a more clear-cut goal. So it's now 8-0 on aggregate. 3 more goals to match that record score line we mentioned a little earlier. And listen, you would definitely not bet against it happening now that Sundowns could set a new scoring record here in the CAF Champions League. They have, of course, they own the record of the largest victory margin or biggest score line in South African domestic competition. Let's take a look at that one again here, William Shongwe.
But you got to give it to Dave, Big Dave there.
Oh, it was a goal. It didn't bounce, but it was definitely behind the line. He was standing in the net when he cleared that one, but it's of academic importance now.
I would have given a big plus to the goalkeeper for having made himself big. He's already big, but it did that exceptionally well.
It did make a good block, but the way the ball came off him and then it just spun into the net. Could be a chance at the other end there, but Mosali Busa does enough to thwart any danger. Flag up for offside. Ayinde and just gone too early there. Ten minutes gone. Sundowns already made the breakthrough courtesy of Tapelo Morena. Here they come now. Here is Cassius Mailula, 21-year-old. As a shot comes in, Big Dave gets down well.
Very well at that. Now and then there's certain things that you look at the goalkeeper, as big as he is. I mean, he went down that quickly, and technically, in the way that he used his hands, he made that top block and then the back block and used the ground as the dead hand. So from that point of view, you can see he has been long in the game. He just needs to do a little bit of trimming of that body of his, and I'm sure he can still give a lot more than he's giving to this club.
Well, at 35 years old, I think this is as good as it's gonna get. The man who's probably now seeing out his last days in the game, although there's nothing to stop him from carrying on a few more years. You know, goalkeepers tend to go on a bit longer.
Every now and then you see excellent transition play from Passe, and obviously the structure defensively from Mamelodi Sundowns such that they're not giving too much. But I like the speed with which they come out of their defensive half, and the attacking players are always readily available for any ball that gets played into that attacking third.
Ian Akong with the throw-in. That could be a chance for Sundowns to break again. Yes, that's too much. On that one, asking a bit much of Gaston Sereno.
And also, Sereno was looking the pass to be a little bit more inside, so that even if it strays wide, at least he has time to be able to run and get to it before it bails out of the touchline. The third thing, or the second thing to that ball, is when you hit it with a bit of a backspin, it helps the ball not to run too ahead of the attacking player, and that's the other thing that missed from that pass.
Sereno. Levan Mabue. Injury has once again held him back. Levan Mabue, now as I said, making his first appearance of the season, along with Mosalibu Sarada, but Levan Mabue and Rayad Peterson, the two players in the squad in the lineup. But today we are making their first appearance in the starting lineup. The first starter for young Cassius Mailula. He's made 3 best appearances off the bench.
Roderick Rose, the number 14 legend of the country, in as far as national caps. It's been there for the longest, seen him just about in all the COSAFA games that they do play.
Now, flag to stay down for this one. Good run in the cutback from Mailula. Appeals for handball. Referee not interested. And a tester there, but keeper well positioned. Not much power on that one from Allende.
Mailula, this is football intelligence about him. The spaces that he attacks into that box every now and then, he's always ready, right on the edge. We'll be glad to have that one. That didn't slip out of his hands, though it was close to. But it's more like shooting practice for the Mamelodi Sundowns players in the way that they venture into that box so often.
More catching practice then it's going to be another busy night for Dave Misard. Now, let's tackle the free kick then, at least the throw in. Florent Rajaoniasi with a quick throw now. Looking for the 1-2 there was the Madagassi, Radiana Manjaka. Mudiba, one of the scorers last Sunday. Oh. Defended, guided back to the keeper. Well, beautifully done there by Shane Emesta.
Confidently so. And I'm not sure if he was aware of the danger that was lurking just behind him.
Cleverly done. Peters scrambling to keep that one from going out for a corner there, Riyad Peters. Really, such are the riches for Mamelodi Sundowns that Riyad Peters is a third choice goalkeeper.
Remember, Mwin is still in the picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's
Ronwin, there's Dennis.
Actually make it fourth choice.
Yes.
Now. He's actually the fourth choice now, because you'll see the pecking order would be Ronwin Williams now, Dennis Onyango, Kennedy Mwene, and then Riyad Peters. Yeah. Now, let's see this trickery there of Ratiana Redimbi, the other Malagasy in the side. That came off his own man there. That came off the back of Randria Manjaka. Gaston Serino. Was it an obstruction? Indeed it was. And free kick goes against Rose. Roderick Rose it was there, that was outfoxed by Gaston Serino.
Just talking to the coach earlier about what will be his approach. Clearly you can see the low block that is put out there. There's just so many greens just behind the action, and they're not going to be as much going forward. It'll only be just a few of those players. Like I said, he'll all come in those transition moments where they can play that ball forward, but the bulk of the players will remain to create that low block to make it difficult for Sundowns. So far, yes, they've considered, but I think they've dealt with most of the move of Sundowns, offensive moves, that is.
There is number 19-year-old Asad Abudu. His twin brother Afandi is on the bench. So there are two sets of brothers out there.
Come on, Dave.
He's already worked up a sweat in just the first 20 minutes. As the big fella. He's been the busiest player, one of the busiest players out there. Now it's going to be tested again. Yes, Allende lines up. The free kick. Slip there from Mudiba. Falls for Morena. Zungu's cut back there, but gathered again by Dave Musard.
The only challenge, TT, is that I think the team that obviously are the best in their own league, and they like to come out with these build-up players. Look at Steve Kombela and Wendell Robinson on the bench, the goalkeeper coach, and of course the big man Mangoba. But the team that likes to build from the back.
Meanwhile, more danger there at the back for La Paz to try and avoid another goal. So it's one-way traffic, as you might expect. Sundowns though happy to just rotate the ball, not in any rush to get the ball forward. La Paz now, lots of men behind the ball this time, lots of green jerseys behind the ball.
Here's the challenge now, because they've been forced to drop so far back. Even when they do get the ball, it takes them longer to be of any threat, which allows Sundowns the moments to get behind the action.
Something for possibilities here. Did they? No, referee wasn't buying that. He said it was felt that was a dive. Let's say the protest wasn't too vigorous. Confirming the score line, then Mamelodi Sundowns leading by a goal that came in the 8th minute from Tapelo Morena, his first goal of the season. Well, of course, La Paz also, William Chongwe, made it through to this stage of the competition, courtesy of a little bit of, well, you can't say good fortune, because well, what happened, of course, the club that they faced, Volcan Club de Moroni, were disqualified from the competition, which meant that La Paz qualified for the...
through, yeah.
And they had lost, by the way. The first leg had La Paz by 1-0.
Initially, I got a little bit confused when I look at the results and see how did they get here then? And then I later realized that no, there was a no-show from their opponent. Oh, should I say this? They were basically suspended, and the game didn't happen, which allowed them to go through.
Yeah, the Volcan Club de Moroni failed to appear to arrive for the second leg in the Seychelles, and therefore the result in terms of Article 9, 10.5 of the CAF rules dictated that it is the duty of the visiting team to organize its travel arrangements in a way that permits it to arrive in the venue of the match at a reasonable time ahead of the scheduled date of the match, and Volcan Club failed to do that. Only once before. Now let's have a look at this. Only once before, really, have they qualified for the Champions League at this stage of a competition. The Volcan Club at least once participated, and they were knocked out in the preliminary round, and that's exactly what it looks as if that's where this particular excursion is going to end. Gets down well as a big man for a big man.
Unfortunately, because they're defending so deep, each and every time the goalkeeper gets the ball, there's always Mamelodi Sundowns in the vicinity, which will make it difficult for them to play that ball, or should I say, off the back. It's something that you can see. It's a trend. It's what they do. And at the level that, or should I say, the level of the opponents that they normally play against, they're good at it. But now, the high press of Mamelodi Sundowns brings a different kind of challenge.
slip there as he got the pass away. Heavy first touch there from Asad Abudu.
Good usage of the ball and how they come out from that defense. I think at this stage it'll be easy for Mamelodi Sundowns, taking into account that there's not a lot of players that ventures there.
That one was looking for Mailula there, stocky fella there who looks really good on the ball, I've got to say. This young fella. All the way back to Riyad Petersen. Won't have a whole lot to do, you don't think, in a game like this? "21 times Sundowns now have made appearances in the CAF CAF club competitions. That's the most for a South African side. One more than Orlando Pirates, who have made 20 appearances in this competition. And a distant third is SuperSport United. Sundowns have, interestingly, I mean, of course, they had the disappointment last season of bowing out in the quarterfinals, Mamelodi Sundowns. But they've lost just one of their last 10 games in all competitions this season. So a team in good form.
Listen, it felt so unfair that they could do so well in all the build-up up until that game. There was just no justice to what happened in that season.
Yeah, well, as someone once said, as Morena's ball is too close to the keeper. Or is it? It was Misho Sredojevic who used to like to say, in football, you don't always get what you deserve, but you deserve what you get. And I think it's as in life, you don't always get what you deserve, but you always deserve what you get.
I'm not sure about the deserving part of what you get. I mean, it's like, please, tell me something better. I mean, you put the effort into doing so well to get there, and then it just takes that one game.
There's no sentiment in this game. You know what you have to do.
Oh,
Score the goals, win the matches, and you move on.
That was the hardest result for me to take.
Well, listen, Sundowns have lost only even their home record is. Let's take a look at this from Morena. Kept it in play
Beautifully.
Good skills there to keep that one alive. Zungu finds Mailula. Mailula, the cutback there. The square ball. Danger not gone yet as Vala. Oh, palmed onto the upright there by the keeper.
Beaten, flat-footed. If anything, I think it took a deflection. I think it took a deflection.
Now, here they come again, and well, he got a touch onto it, but not enough to take it past the keeper, Mailula there. The young fella.
Yeah, I'd like the punch, I'd like the pressure. He got a good touch to it. Now look at this. It takes a deflection. Goalkeeper beaten, hands down, and the upright saves him. Yeah.
And Mailula there on the next passage of play manages to get something onto it, but didn't really put any power on it to get it past the keeper. Bongani Zungu, a winner, of course, in the past in this competition. Mayende finding this is Sirino on the side. Zungu. There's an attempt from a shot from a long range. Happy to watch that one past his
the trick,
Right hand upright.
yeah, the trick to Mamelodi Sundowns in continuing to create better chances is through Morena and Modiba on the left-hand side. These two full backs who sometimes play as wing backs. It's up to them to be able to draw the players who are packing that midfield a little to the side, and then from there it's up to Sereno and Allende to make their presence felt in as far as good runs, well timed into that box.
Now, it's a good ball in here. Oh, what a save! What a save from the big fella.
Listen,
Moved very quickly, read the danger very quickly.
he's brilliant. He's been brilliant. He's having a good game.
He
I'm
really
telling
is.
you.
That's a good ball there. The idea was a brilliant one.
That's a brilliant save. We often say a goalkeeper makes himself big, but let me tell you.
Didn't need to make any extra effort.
No,
but
no,
he moved so quickly.
Yes, that was actually the trick to it. Now he shuffled so quickly across the face of goal to make the block.
Such a good movement, and Mailula denied yet again.
But look at now, this is where you can tell the technical awareness of some of those players in defense. I mean, if you look at where Mailula comes from, he just flashes past the defender, he's flat-footed, he's ball watching, and which was the case with the first goal that Sundowns scored earlier. The fullback just watched. And now with so much defending, I won't be surprised if come the second half they'll be cramping. Remember, they are an island team, so this is high altitude. That will be another factor that will work against them come the second half. And it'll also depend if Sundowns just takes the foot off the pedal. Otherwise, it could be worse come the second half. Even now, the goalkeeper has been to the rescue in so many different occasions. Could have been worse already.
Half an hour gone, just over half an hour gone. And I think La Paz will be reasonably happy with the fact that they've managed to keep the score line down to just 1-0. I mean, at this stage of the game, they were already 3-0 down on Sunday. So I think that there's progress.
Let's add to Barra's A or CAF A license as well, to add to his straps. So he will understand this space so well to try and minimize the impact.
Got underneath it there. Allende with the attempt there. As Bongani Zungu, a man who's still working hard on his way back to fitness. In fact, I was saying that, I think earlier I was saying that he was a winner in this competition. Of course, he missed out. That's the season that he moved at the end of the 2015-16 season. He moved on to Vitória Guimarães and didn't feature in the Champions League as Sundowns went on to lift the trophy. And he went off to start his European adventure. Did Bongani Zungu, joining Vitória Guimarães in 2016, and that's the season that Sundowns went on to win their first CAF Champions League. But you can see now he's still fighting his way back to full fitness after basically a season of inactivity. Last time out, hardly played any football. Made a total of 5 appearances for Amiens in the French lower leagues. Now, another attack loading here for Mamelodi Sundowns. Mailula, it's been busy out there, it's been buzzing. It's been one of the main outlets here for the attacks for Sundowns. Young fella from Amulepo in Limpopo joined Sundowns as a wee lad. Only 15 years he was when he joined the Sundowns Academy, 15 years old. Frustration for the coach on the sidelines. They're not happy about how cheaply they're giving the ball away. Says if we're going to be outclassed, let them beat us. Let's not beat ourselves. Let's get the basics right. I mean,
point made earlier for me is the team that I don't think they can change too much right now. They're the team that plays from the back, the team that enjoys passing game. But they're failing to understand that there's a different level. They cannot do that often and as casual as they're doing it. And they're lucky that they've actually, Sundowns hasn't punished.
I think it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that La Passe are probably operating at what in South African leagues would be ABC Motsepe level. Quite possibly maybe Motsepe Foundation Championship.
Which obviously I think the better teams should be at least at that level, but definitely ABC will be more appropriate.
Zungu skews off the side of his boot there. Sandile Zungu. Did I just say Sandile Zungu? Bongani Zungu.
I know who he's taking that name from. There's a boss probably watching this game is thinking, what is Titi saying about me?
Bongani Zungu, yeah, he hasn't been on the score sheet in a long time. 2019, when he was still at Amiens in France, and he last got amongst the goal scorers. Now, can La Passe try and get something on target? Yeah! Oh, that's a big goal! What a well-taken goal! Ryan Peterson, well beaten! What a great header there from Florent Rajauniasi. What a great passage of play that was from the Seychelles. Now listen, if you remember nothing else about this year's sojourn in the CAF Champions League, that is a goal that will live long in the memory. Not so for Ryan Peterson. Take a look at this.
Speed, transition play, and ball played quickly, and Morena could maybe blame himself there for not jumping high enough where that ball was a lot higher, but I don't think he gave it that much effort. Even the slightest of touches have done the trick, but you got to give it to Florent, who came steaming in and believed that ball might end up somewhere near his head. And
what a beautiful touch. The Sundowns fans just below us here in the main stand were all on their feet applauding that goal. That is a beautiful touch. And you know, first of all, showing appreciation for a great goal, and also encourage. Oh gosh! Oh, that is cheeky, Mailula. Gosh, he's had so many opportunities, and then he scores with the most audacious of his attempts at goal.
Fantastic. I mean, he's been getting into that box city. He's been making himself available, and he's obviously, the goalkeeper's made numerous saves from his efforts. But look at how he attacks that near post and Star beautifully realized that he wasn't going to be able to turn immediately with his left foot. Backheels it into the back of net and leaving goalkeeper Dave stranded.
What a way to score his first ever senior goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. Cassius Mailula.
Quality.
Beautifully done. And give some credit to Mkulise for the work, the spade work done on that one, but he has his first goal as a senior for Mamelodi Sundowns. That's Mkulise, or should I say Mailula, 21-year-old.
That is,
yeah,
that's the cruel nature of this game. Just when you think that maybe the Passe could redeem themselves one or the other by maybe holding Sundowns to that 1-1 draw of some sort, but it was still far-fetched.
In his fourth appearance for Sundowns, Cassius Mailula.
What a response!
Gets a beautiful goal. So that will certainly be one that will live long in his memory, no doubt about that. A touch of class. Very beautifully done. As I was, just as La Paz players were still celebrating and enjoying that goal, Sundowns punished them. And that's a clear foul. And a kick on, and I think it's led to the first caution of the game, rightfully so. He mistimed challenge and he kicked. He's a goal scorer. Now has a yellow card, as you were. I think he just mistimed there. Well, it was reckless as well.
You know, and excessive force in there. I mean, he realized that ball was long gone, and all there was to it was just to bring down Morena. And harshly so, maybe he deserves a lot more than just a yellow. I guess maybe the situation the way it is right now, we can't be too hard to a team that is already, can't beat a big man that is already, can't beat a man that is already down.
Of course you can. What better time?
Cruel, Titi.
Yeah, but yeah, that was reckless, and yes, some may have said even a harsher penalty would have been warranted because he was nowhere near the ball. He kicked the man.
That's what I'm saying.
Sirino to the back post, too much on that one. So he's got a yellow card to go with his goal. That's Rajawanyasi. Sully did his good work just after the crowd showed such great appreciation for his goal, and then he goes out and lashes out like that. And now here he is again, looking for a free kick. Nothing given, and in fact it's been given the other way as he handled the ball. And
did he trickle out?
I don't think the ball was out. I think it was because I thought he handled the ball maybe, but I don't think the ball was out of play there.
Because it looks like the ref was pointing to the 6-yard box for the restart.
At the other end, as we approach half-time here at Loftus Versfeld. Sundowns, by the way, have taken their lead now to 9-1, 2 more goals, and they'll equal their record all-time win. By the way, that was also 11-1 on aggregate. The record win in the CAF Champions League. Just after the goal, coming shortly after La Paz had pulled one back, or got an equalizer courtesy of the Malagasy international Rajoanasi, Florent Rajoanasi. Sundowns with Bongani Zungu. Mentioned earlier the great record that Sundowns have at home in CAF competitions. They've only lost 3 of the 79 home games in CAF competitions. That is a fantastic record.
It is the mentality at this level to say, well, you can go out there, if you win it's bonus, pick a point, it's a bonus, but when you come to your home games, make sure that you push for all those 3 points.
The last team to win here in South Africa against Sundowns was the Algerian side of Belouizdad. CR Belouizdad won 2-0. That was in 2020-2021 season. Serino, whoa, burns the man there. Mkhulise. Spelling Mkhulise. The cutback, Zungu plays in Tapelo Morena. Asking too much of that pass. Just a minute to be added on there. No! Oh, it's an OG. Another one. Just as they did last week. It's another own goal.
No, I think it came off Mailula.
Who's claiming it?
Mailula, I think he got it off his chest.
Did Mailula get the last touch on that one?
About off his chest.
Well,
Great positioning.
He ran off celebrating like he was claiming it. So let's have a look.
I think he got that last touch off his chest.
Oh, yes. Okay. It's got a praise.
In such a short space of time. Delivery once again from this time around. Who it was? Oh, brilliantly so. But he attacks the ball.
Done.
That's the strength of this young man. He can sense the opportunity when it comes and he positions himself. And of course, the rest is for him just to get a decent touch to it.
Well, that's his brace then, and Sundowns are within one then of a record. 10-1 on aggregate. 3-1 on the night, and they hung on. And as I said, there's still progress. Last week they were 5-0 down at the break. So, and they've got themselves a goal, to La Passe. And this fella has been buzzing out there. He's been the star, from the standout player for Mamelodi Sundowns. He got it all started, Tapelo Morena. And then the Malagasy International, Radionasi, got the equalizer with a very well-worked goal. A great finish, gave no chance to Rayad Petersen. And it's one that will go down in the history of this club. Well, Big Dave not happy about something, but
he's obviously, he thought the ball maybe might have been from his hand. Or, yeah.
But at halftime then here at Loftus Versfeld, it is Mamelodi Sundowns that lead La Passe by 3-1. All right, so let's have a look at what the numbers say then from that first half. Not surprisingly, William Shongwe, total domination in terms of possession for Sundowns.
That is obviously was key. I mean, with La Passe is just sitting back and holding that low block, and they never were a threat. If Chan they had the ball, it was all transitional play and very quick, losing it and coming back to make the numbers.
Well, there you go. Then of course, the attempts on goal. Look at that. 16-3.
Tells the story.
Let's take a look at the goals as they did come then from that first half. That one looked like it had crossed the line, but the referee waved the play on. And then this happened. Unmarked, Tapelo Morena shows great composure. Some poor marking there from La Passe.
That was always the case. I think throughout the game there were moments where they let themselves down by not sticking with the man who's making the run.
Beautifully controlled, yeah.
Yes, he has time to chest it down and then finish with a plump. There was nothing the goalkeeper could do from there.
He could even have he could have had another touch if he wished. Then the La Passe did this beautiful cross, and how about that header?
And it looks like Morena arrives and he thinks he's got it under control, but misses it. And this man, steaming, anticipates and he readies himself, and it's a great header.
And I love the way he checks his run as well, just to make sure he's not that the cross gets to him. It's a really good cross whipped in here. Tapelo Morena completely misjudged it, and no chance for the big man, Rayat Peterson. But it didn't last too long, the celebrations, because Sundowns went to the other end of the field and did this. A first ever goal, a senior goal for 21-year-old Cassius Mailura. And what a classy piece of finishing that was from the youngster.
And he must have enjoyed that. He thought to himself, you know what, this is doable. Let's see if I can do this. But now the trick to it is, for me, throughout this game, he's been presenting himself with his opportunities, always running into that post, either near post or far post, but he's forever been available to try and finish whatever gets played to him.
Even as a junior, he was a prolific scorer, Mailura. And then he shows he can score in many different ways. One off the chest there, as a defender missed that one, and he helps himself to a second.
Even more difficult this one, because actually the defender gets a touch to it before it falls into his chest. So you can imagine how he readjusts himself so beautifully.
And you can see why the big man, the keeper, thought that there was a handball in there because of the way it comes off his chest there. But there you go. That was the first half. Then Sundowns 3-1 in the lead and 10-1 on aggregate.
What are you doing?
Slicing my sandwich. Why? What are you doing?
But Sami's go into triangles, not rectangles. Right, guys?
Watch out for that Bermuda rectangle over there. Burn.
I think rectangles are nice.
That's where I draw the line.
Right down the middle.
You know, in Britain, they call it a Sani.
I did not know that.
And you came to me like a bird to the breeze, and we floated together for a while. But you had to go, now I carry the load, took off in the wind and my smile. See, I was told the dreams were made to be believed in, so I put every single dream in you. But you said the bar is so high above the sky, and you nailed it to the floor. What is loving anymore? What is loving anymore?
One side is considered a Southern African juggernaut and African powerhouse, while the other is a small East African minnow nation from the island of Ladeke, with a population of just over 2,800 people. This is the quintessential David versus Goliath battle on a Sunday to play itself out in the capital of the Republic of South Africa. Komasava, Jumbo and hello from the administrative hub of Pretoria for this Total Energies CAF Champions League second round first leg tie, live from the home of Sundowns Football Club, Loftus Versfeld. There's an early chance already for the Sundowns nation. And is this the beginning of what will possibly spell a cricket-like scoreline at the end? Of all scorers, it's Grant Kekana, Brian Martin.
Grant Kekana, short corner, recycled, played into the box. The marking is non-existent. More like a free header for Grant Kekana. The chef did not have a chance. I'm talking about Dave Collin.
Dispossessed, Mutau, Malande, Serino, easy as you like. It's 2 downs. Abafana Bastyle turning on the style.
Look at how erratic they are. And for me, this is where I respect Mamelodi Sundowns. They said they're taking the game seriously. They respect the opponent. And in the quest to respect the opponent, you've got to play your game and play it as serious and mean business. And that's what they're all about. Lethal Sereno.
Sereno, piercing pass to find the Uruguayan. Easily breezes past this man and had to be illegally stopped. Too hard to handle is the Uruguayan. 5 in the box, missed by the keeper.
And then it's a goal.
The pastry chef makes a mess of it. It almost comically went into the net. And you mentioned him, Toby Van, and the ball was attracted to him like a magnet.
Yeah, he's an imposing figure.
He didn't have to do much, Brian.
No. Put it on my head. I'm unmarked.
Vala. Modiba's got a wicked left foot. Nkuli's in the box. Just over the crossbar. Baba Fiela, man.
Aye, Baba
Yet another cross. Almost yielding results. As easy as you like. This time around, again, was Krankegea. It's a shoot on side policy. And the fans from the stands onto the pitch as well.
I think they have rare moments where they're not smiling, the Sundowns fans. They're forever smiling, they're forever happy.
A shot of supreme power. As sweet as you like. That's that shit, a sugar din. Postage stamp from the postman, Aubrey Modiba.
I was talking about happiness, right? To say they are forever happy. Because there is expectations. They're permanently having an appointment. I want to know more about this. You know, there's expectations. These fans have got permanent appointment with Mamelodi Sundowns. Whether watching it at home, of course, we always live, or coming here at the stadium, they have a permanent appointment.
An ongoing relationship with happiness, and it just keeps getting even more and more jubilant by the passing of every moment. It's a 5-star performance from 7 up.
Well, when we talk about Sunday and they talk about 7 colors, we've been dished out 5 colors so far.
Sereno thinks about the shot, gives it to Mbule, passes it into the net. Sundowns hit the pass for 6.
Sereno was so aware. Uguti, Lomfo, uyeza kaloku, ubani osithetha ngaye?
Siphe Mbule.
Umbule kaloku.
Purchase of the man, Sereno. He's there to take it. It's Mailula. Skips it. Still Mailula. Nkulise. It is 7 colors football from Mamelodi Sundowns. It's the 26-year-old, his first goal of the season. Spelele Nkulise. They say the sky's the limit. Well, they scored 7 and took him in 7.
Emin Mepezu. Meal complete.
A 7-star performance. 7 for Sundowns as they took La Paz to 7th heaven. They meet again on the 14th of October. 7-0 at full time.
At ShopRite, you have the power to save with extra savings. Giving 15 million members over 8 billion Rand in extra savings. Swipe and save up to 40% on deals like 10 kilos Hewlett's brown sugar for only $159.99. Save 30 Rand. And Right Brand cornflakes for just $34.99. Save 14 Rand. Extra savings gives you the power in your pocket.
October 16th, the wait is finally over. One of the most feared heavyweights in history is back. The bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, squares off with the Nordic nightmare, Robert Helenius. Plus, Caleb Plant takes on Anthony Durrell in the super middleweight blockbuster and more. Sunday, October 16th, live on your World of Champions, Super Sport.
Teams, Bradley Dogs to Banky
38 meter, 38. It's the MTN 8. La Super Sport on DSTV Compact.
It's modern art. Serie A, live and in HD, only on Supersport on DSTV.
Do you want her to come after us?
Don't you dare tell me you can protect me from her! I need her to know it was me.
Progress is a mindset. It's the constant pursuit to be better, smarter, faster. We are fueled by the spirit of innovation to create technology that excites us and drives us. This is the Nissan Magnite. Never stand still.
Welcome back to Loftus Versfeld here in Pretoria for the second half of this CAF Champions League second preliminary round, second leg match. It's a Mamelodi Sundowns, the South African champions, in charge and in control and showing their domination over the minnows, really, and the part-timers from the Seychelles, La Passe. And really, Sundowns now, it's all about the record books now. They are within one goal of equaling the all-time record, which they hold, the all-time scoring record in the CAF Champions League, which was achieved 3 years ago against another team from the Seychelles. Côte d'Or was the side that they thumped 11-1 on aggregate. Exactly 3 years ago, actually, in September, almost to the day, September 2019, that was.
Coached by the same coach, that is coaching La Paz this evening.
Now,
he's brave, this man.
So, I don't know what changes we're going to see, but I suspect we might see quite a few from the Sundowns side. William Shama, what do you think?
Zungu for one in that center of the midfield. We can't play the 90 minutes at the moment. I think it was a good 45 minutes. So there's quite a number of options that can come through from the bench to actually give him a go. But the youngster Mailula, I'm not sure if the coach will let him go and just fire in all cylinders and continue to increase his confidence.
Well, he's within one of a hat-trick. You don't know how many opportunities he's going to get to score a hat-trick in his career. So I would hope they'll give him an opportunity to complete that hat-trick.
My boy as well, he's another that possibly might not finish the game. That middle, that would be a little bit of a concern for me, for Mamelodi Sundowns. It's not a big concern. It's just that maybe those players cannot be flocked to until they can't walk.
Well, glancing down pitch side, it doesn't look like there's any changes from either side. Of course, 2 changes were made by La Paz from last Sunday, and Sundowns made a total of 6. So wholesale changes that were made by Mangoba Ngqiti. As I said, they want to, give some players an opportunity and a run in the side, including Rayad Petersen, who has marked his first appearance of the season. Unfortunately, by conceding a goal. You can't really blame him, though. I think his defense in front of him was exposed on the break by the attack or the counter of La Paz.
Happy to see him back, Mkhulise.
This man is also working himself back into the squad. Mutobi Mvala.
In a different position, though, from what I've seen in the past. He normally plays in that middle of the park, and today is alongside Lebusa in defense. Another combination that hasn't been tested much.
There is a young Cassius Baloy in his 4th appearance for Mamelodi Sundowns. He has now got his first 2 goals for the club, and you get the sense that could be the first 2 of many. Marcelo Allende, I haven't seen a great deal from him as the referee awaits the arrival of the big Dave. Michaud is holding us up. He's not out there yet. The goalkeeper of La Paz has yet to make an entrance.
Trying to recover maybe in that.
He had a very busy first half. So just catching his breath a little bit longer. Well, this is quite odd. Fourth official also looking down the tunnel. Do you think it's possible that Big Dave might have just said, call it a night?
Listen, he worked hard in that first half. He was under pressure throughout. I mean, honestly, 3 goals looks like a lot, but there were low moments where he came through brilliantly.
Here he comes. Here he comes. Big Dave gets a big cheer.
I can't quite remember which year it was at Orlando Stadium. It's a final, and Paris comes in, and I can't quite remember who they were playing against, and Sparks is missing. And then last minute he rocks up. The crowd went wild.
There you are. We are back underway. Second half of first match. It's Mamelodi Sundowns who get us underway. They're in the yellow shirts and blue shorts. Now taking the goals to the left of your picture, leading by 3 goals to 1. 10-1 on aggregate. As I said, Cote d'Or was another team from the Seychelles that was on the receiving end. So Coach James Barra, as you said, knows all about taking a hiding from Mamelodi Sundowns. September 2019 it was when over 2 legs Sundowns won that match by 11 goals to 1. They won that leg, that one 5-0 in the first leg away with the Sundowns, and then added 6 more at home. Now,
no pressure whatsoever. Preparing to just go back and hold their position behind the action, and which allows Sundowns all the moments of creativity to come through. They can hold the ball for as long as they want. They can rotate it with no pressure, but because they're an ambitious side.
Oh, that was very close to number 4 there. Crossed the face of goal it went.
And who was there attacking that box?
Young Mailula again.
Brilliant. Unfortunately, a little bit too far for him. Otherwise, any further forward the line, he would have been caught offside.
Sundowns. I wonder when we'll start to see them shuffling the pack here and bringing out the players off the bench, giving a few more players off the off the bench. Maybe you wait an hour. So, lobbing one into the box there was Mabuye. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see 11-1 quite in...
Like I said, for me, it can only be the case of Sundowns taking the foot off the pedal. That's why sometimes bringing fresh legs helps up the tempo a bit, and bringing hungry players who would want to also make an impact of their own. But right now, the scoreline basically suggests that it's all over for the players that are in the field of play.
Now, there could be more pain here for La Passe, because Sundowns have a free kick in a very dangerous position, very close to the goals. Very close to the goal of the big man.
Look at the runs now in that middle. Aha. Whatever happened in that box had nothing to do with where the ball was going to play. It was all about just disrupting the defensive structures that La Passe had put in there. Substitute, of course.
We are going to see some changes of the bench for La Passe. First change then of the bench. Confirm it for you in a moment as the ball comes in, and the flick on from the defensive header there. Tapelo Morena who opened the scoring. As I was saying, while we are all about records today, for at least Sundowns, they would be well aware of what the record books say, but listen, 11-1 was actually the scoreline in the 20, as I said, in August, September 2019 against Cote d'Or. 11-1 in one match. It wasn't an aggregate score, just to be clear about that. Spuso Lagazi got a hat-trick in that one. Tapelo Morena, by the way, was amongst the scorers as well in that game. 11-1 it was. It's a heavy defeat, so 10-1 on aggregate here, but we are not anywhere near from to a 11-1. Not a chance. I don't think we'll get anywhere close, but that was close to number 4. I heard the keeper react so quickly to the danger and makes another stop. But as you said, William Shongwe, the score line could have been a lot worse were it not for a few great saves that have been made by the big man, Dave Musard.
But I think in this one, I think Sereno could have done better there. Yeah. He just felt to slip the ball past him. And linked it to the side would have done the trick. But remember, once again, Dave is a big man.
He moves well. I think I've been really impressed with how quickly he reacts, reads the game well. And I think that the goals that he did concede, it's not much really he could have done to keep them out, to keep out.
Now, here's a quick question. Now look at this. What are the chances of me making a comeback?
Well,
I'm looking at my weight in comparison to that of Dave, and I'm thinking, you know,
well, he's only 25 years your junior.
Hey, look, it's maybe the boat I can make up for whatever is lacking in speed with my light experience.
Yeah, and your lighter body. Yes. So mentioned Sundowns clearly enjoy playing against these teams from the Seychelles. 3 of the 5 big scores that they've had, some of their biggest wins in their 3 of the 5 biggest wins have come against opposition from the Seychelles. As Allende makes way, first change then from Mamelodi Sundowns. It looks like we're going to have a triple change. Hashim Domingo is also going to come in. And Neo Maema standing by. And as you predicted, Mabuya is not going to quite have the legs to take him 90 minutes. So on comes Hashim Domingo. Started off the season very well. Hashim Domingo last season rather ended very well last season.
I think he started well as well.
Yeah.
This season featured.
I think going into this season, yeah, he brought some great form in. But let's have a look at this. Mvala hangs it up, and well, that I think it was took a touch of a Sundowns player at first, which took it away from the better plays Morena. And that's all fizzes out onto nothing. So we have the first of 3 changes then for Sundowns. Take a look at this is a good ball from Mvala.
And Lebusa, the tallest of them all, misses there as well. And now they've hoped that Mvala was in the box, because Mvala is a great header of the ball. If I remember his goals that he scored for Highlands Park when he was still there as a midfielder, he scored from headers.
So in terms of the home wins for Sundowns, the biggest home win, because last week doesn't count as a home win, even though it was played at the same ground. Let's have a look at Miami now on a run here with Morena, the two former Bloemfontein Celtic players combining there. The pass, get it away. Oh, that's a great turn. And good cover coming from Libusa, and a foul as well. And a yellow card coming here. Please, his innocence, but that's not going to work. And that's another caution. So I think the second one, this time gone to the other Malagasy. Ratiana Redimbi. Yeah, oh, clear fouls.
Yeah.
These are such dangerous tackles that we've seen, you know. I mean, that's a leg breaker again. I don't know that the referee would have been wrong to show a red there even. Bongani Zulu does well to stand on his feet, but couldn't get the ball away. So ball over the top, the flag's up for offside. So they're saying for the home victories, the last week's won't count. Sundowns have won 6-1 against Valkas Phoenix. As you see, 3-1 the scoreline. That was in 2008-2009. They beat the Mauritian side 6-1, and they beat Al Ahly of Egypt. That probably is the most famous home win for Sundowns. And they beat them 5-0 in the first leg of the quarter-final in 2018-2019 season. That's an incredible result. I think a lot of people who were there, the thousands that had packed into Lucas Muribe that night, were stunned to watch that happen, to have witnessed that result. And then, of course, the biggest of the lot, the biggest home win, was that one against Cotido, 11-1. And Sundowns having won 5-0 away from home. Maema. Now, of course, also the fitness levels will be put to the test. You know, when you're chasing the ball for long periods of the time, it is exhausting. It takes a lot out of you. So Sundowns keep doing this rotation of the ball. It just wears down the opposition.
Which we say it when you add the factor of the altitude, it just makes it worse.
Want to charge down this right-hand side, but it's Modiba that will win that race. It's the tempo of the game also, just slowing it down a little bit. Silky footwork there from Maema. Billy the Kid. For Sundowns, it will be a return to... It'll be more than a month actually when they return to DSTV Premiership since their last game, because we had an international break and then they returned with the MTN 8. Their next match, of course, will be the second leg of that MTN 8 semi-final against Orlando Pirates. 0-0. That one still very delicately poised as La Paz win a free kick here.
Was it the 18th of September when they played Amazulu? That win against Amazulu.
Yes, in that would.
That's a long.
Yes, I think it was the 17th or the
18th, yeah.
Or 18th of September, was it? But Sundowns, yes, a 1-0 win over. It was the 18th of September. 1-0 win. 1-0 win over Amazulu here at Loftus. So that's just one of those things with the scheduling. Now, can they produce something special here from the set piece? Gathered by Riyad Petersen, just avoids it going out for a corner.
Yeah, it looked like it took a slight deflection from the wall.
Now,
Rolani there, maybe the weight of the pass to try and get to Mailula was a little bit too much, and also I think from where he was already, he could have maybe brought it to his right foot and taken a shot himself. He was that close.
An hour to go, at least we've hit the hour mark here at Loftus. So still half an hour to play, still plenty of time for more goals if Sundowns want to keep their foot on the pedal. Although, as I said, it seems as if the tempo has gone down somewhat. Sundowns.
And normally I hope when you bring in fresher legs, and it was in line with looking to up the tempo, because the coach already had picked up that the tempo had dropped. And when you have the game under this type of control, you just want to keep going and squeezing just about everything that you can get to.
Good run here from Tapelo Morena. Sungu.
All these attempts have not.
They have been nowhere near the target.
Yeah.
Lacking the sharpness, as I said. It's been 3 years since he's scored in any competition at any level. It was back in his days in France. But yeah, he's working his way back. And all the game time he can get will help.
Indeed. And this is just one game. Listen, there's a lot of players in that field of play that needs game time. And the coach have used this platform to be able to give them that. And I think it's a wise move, because you will need them at some stage. And the quality that are sitting on the bench that doesn't have game time is so much. It's like an injustice to football that they don't do that. So the coach have been wise in bringing them in just to give them a little bit of life and hope, and up their confidence a bit.
So in matches, the word that we are getting is that there's another tester there, and the flag was up though, was it?
I don't think so.
No, there was no flag. There was no flag.
And being a left-footed player, Mayema, he was streaming for that top corner, and the ball didn't get the right spin to hit that top corner. But the whole idea was very clear.
So word that we are getting is that Cape Town City have gone down by a goal to nil, and their fixture away from home against Petro Atletico. See what Sundowns can do here. Here's Mailula on a hat-trick. What a dream. What a way to score. You get the first goal for your club, and then for the senior team, and then you cap that by scoring a hat-trick. That would be quite a story. Doesn't matter the quality of the opposition.
Cheaply gives the ball away, Dave, from an easy situation, but once again, it's just more pressure that got created. That puts him under a little bit of pressure to hit the ball wide.
More changes coming, by the way, for Sundowns. Two, gonna make another double change. That'll be the last two changes. Standing by to come on is Abdelmonem Bouturi, making a debut appearance here, and he will get a big cheer. Looks like Mudiba is one of those who's gonna make way. Latest recruit, and Gift Mutupa will also get a rare outing out there. Featured, of course, last weekend, Gift Mutupa, and he has definitely found the going tough, but so the Sundowns then completing their complement of changes. There he is, debutant Abdelmonem Bouturi. What another fine acquisition for Mamelodi Sundowns. Just gives that attack a different dimension. William Shongwe.
Listen, when they do choose them, they know exactly what they can bring into the party. It's not just a good player from somewhere, but it's what he can do well for Sundowns.
He is, of course, Moroccan. Here's Abdelmonem Bouturi. So Sundowns continue really to make to grow their League of Nations. Good work again from the keeper. Reads the danger very quickly and was off his line there as young Mailula continues to search for that hat-trick.
I thought you were going to say young Dave.
No, not young Dave.
Look, he actually timed his run to perfection, Mailula, in that moment. He easily could have been ruled offside had he been even a second earlier, but he timed his run to perfection. Those are some of the things that you got to appreciate by a youngster in the way that he makes his decision. He's just again in the box. Listen, he's not the biggest of players. If you talk attacking players, but he seems to have the well built, and he's got strength and good center of gravity. He can hold his line even with his back to goal.
You know, signing, as you mentioned, Sundowns, they definitely do scour the leagues. I mean, with Bouturi, now they've got themselves another imposing centre-back. He reminds me a lot, when I look at him, he reminds me a lot of Nascimento. There he is, the big man. Formerly played with Botola. First Moroccan to play in the PSL.
We've had an Algerian.
Yeah. North Africans, we haven't had plenty supply of those in the PSL.
They pay well in those leagues.
Yeah, but certainly this one is right up there in terms of quality. And here he is in a chance now getting to make a name for himself.
Now the question for me is who is his introduction? Who has been maybe...
Now could be a chance, and that's fine finish. Smashed past the keeper, Gift Mutupa. Hasn't been on the field that long. And he joins the party. Makes it 11 on aggregate, 4 on the night. Wow, what a fine finish.
Well, for a player that is used to scoring when he was playing for Baroka and I think at Bidvest, for him this is like massive to be able to get a goal, and how pleasing and how important it is just for his mind to rediscover himself with that scoring touch, and who knows what the coaches can do from here.
Wow, that's a superb finisher from Gift Mutupa. And only his second appearance as well of the season.
The instinct of a striker. As soon as Mayema broke through the line there, and as it goes to the byline, Mutupa already adjusted his positioning. He was running to that night post, but decided to hold or check his run a little bit back in anticipation of a cutback from Mayema.
That's a fine.
And it duly came.
It's a fine finish from Mutupa, but good work, as I said, to set it up in the first place. And it really gave the keeper no chance. 4-1 it is now. 11-1 the score reads, but as you can see, that's the aggregate score. Nowhere near that 11-1 scored 3 years ago. So Mutupa is up and running in terms of the goal scorers charts. Limited opportunity for him. He really has found the going tough, and here could be more for him to help himself to another cutback. And was there a foul in there? No, referees just tell him to get back to his feet. And it was Bradley Ralani that went to ground there. So this I was talking about. Now flag stayed down. Great control to bring it down from Morena. Now the shot is straight at the keeper.
Still, he's looking to bend that ball into the far coast. Ralani being another that has been introduced to just increase the fire a little bit more forward. But you didn't see the pass that came to the Moroccan to spray it that wise to find Morena. That was class. Just to pick up glimpses of what he gives. And look at the composure as well and how he brings that ball.
Butui shows good composure on the ball there. I'd like to see a centre back, nothing more impressive than a centre back who's who's good with his feet, on ball at feet, likes to play. Sundowns like those kind of players, of course. This is good football now. There could be more here. Timely intervention there. Was it Mutupa that was lining himself up?
Yes. The only one thing that he didn't do right was attack the ball. He waited for the ball to come to him, which made it easy for the defender to come and nick it away from him.
So having opened his account, Mutupa is got an appetite for more. Wants another one in his another one who's also making his first appearance of the season. Was on the bench last week. Whoops. That could have gone anywhere. Keeper pumped it straight back into play there. And ping-pongs off and goes behind it. They've taken a quick short one. Have Sundowns, great feet here. It was Neo Maema, and then he fouls his man.
I'm just looking at the list of defenders for Mamelodi Sundowns that maybe are not even getting regular action.
Yes, it's a difficult squad to get into, that's for sure. As you say, if you go through the list, I mean, if you think about the fact that you still have the likes of Rivaldo Kutsia, who's still out, Onyango, another one. Let's have a look at this now. Another chance here. Keeper uses his feet this time, improvising. Sundowns upping the tempo just again and looking maybe for more goals.
You know what, there were moments where Sundowns looked to be struggling, maybe not getting, not playing much on the front foot. and they'll let you basically get into this moment of a lull where you think, we got this under control. And then suddenly...
He's looking lively, is Gift Mutupa out there. Enjoying the run that has been given here. Double change then for La Passe. 15 minutes left. As I said, the job is pretty much done. It was done a while ago for Sundowns in terms of securing a place in the next round of this competition. As confirm the change there, Stan Fanchete, who is the brother of the captain Dan Fanchete, and Martial is the other player as well that has just been introduced. And now it's trickled into the net. Another one. Frustration for the keeper, but that one somehow found its way into the net. Trickles in for another, and is it Rolani?
No, it's Domingo.
Is it Hashim Domingo?
Yeah. In fact, it's the run of Morena, which he has done throughout the 90 minutes.
He's had a great game. He opened the scoring and now turns provider again. Wow. Oh, save. No wonder they keep us so frustrated there. That's a great...
He had to improvise, Domingo. I mean, that ball was behind him.
Yes.
You know? But how pinpointed is Morena's pass to find him? Quality.
Unlucky for the keeper. Made a great stop initially. Just too much power on it. Hashim Domingo gets his first of the season, making his third appearance of the season. His first in the Champions League, but he's made 2 appearances in the league. As I said, finished the last season off so well. And again, those dreaded injuries. But yet, that was a well-taken goal, and it's taking it to 5-1. Racking them up. Again, it's Morena. What a game he's having out wide there.
He's giving them a great outlet, because the concentration of the defenders is to the players.
Is there another one here? There is. 6-1 now matches their second highest score at home for Mamelodi Sundowns. 6-1. As it was in 2008-2009 when they beat Phoenix, AS of Focaus of Mauritius. Phoenix beat them by 6-1, and they have now matched that.
You got to give it to Lebosa. I mean, he timed his run as well so well that he beat the offside trap and was not greedy to try and make an attempt of his own. Just laid it. It just goes to explain that there's not enough pressure for Morena to sit at the back. No, Lebusa at that moment that he chooses to go forward. They've basically been sitting, and they've decided to engage themselves a little bit more by getting involved a little bit more into the attack.
Now Maema, the latest on the score sheet.
And the impact that the players introduce are beginning to make. And
absolutely. Just the sort of thing that the coaches would want to see when you bring players off the bench. You want them to make an impact, and that's exactly what they have done. Bradley Rolani hasn't scored yet, but has certainly made his mark as well. There's a change coming on. Daryl Musad. Making sure that everybody gets a run out, why not? And get an experience of the occasion. And they brought on another youngster. Just over 10 minutes to go. But 10 more minutes that La Paz will have to endure. But listen, I don't think that they will be too affected by the results here. I think they knew coming into this fixture that they were going to find the going tough.
Here's what has happened into the Sundowns defense. With the Moroccan being dropped into the center alongside Mvala, Lebusa has pushed to the left-hand side where Modiba played as a left fullback, a position that he started at Ajax.
Yeah. Ten minutes, as I said, left on the clock. There's plenty of time to score more goals. Can the visitors get themselves another? 2010 was the last time they reached this stage of the competition. Well, what a story here. Just a... Wow, that's a beautiful dummy there played by Morena. I tell you what, there's a story here unfolding. If we can do a little split screen for you, you can see not something that you're going to see often, William Shong. I don't know in your days whether you ever had a father and son combination out on the field. Derold Musat, who just came on, is the son of Dave Musad. He just the goalkeeper as Sundowns again winding themselves up for another. Here's a chance then to test the keeper there. It was Butui showing.
Yeah, it's a rare occasion to see a son and or a father and son.
I'm just trying to think now.
Ernest Mtawali.
Yes, I was about to say his son and was it
Bidvest?
Patrick, yes, at Bidvest Vets. Was it Patrick, I think, was the son's name?
Yeah.
I can't say I can think of too many father and son combinations that have featured for the same team. So confirming there that Petro, the other results from earlier on, Petro Atletico have knocked Cape Town City out after beating them 3-0 in Cape Town. They won 1-0 at home earlier this afternoon. The game kicked off a little earlier than ours, so South African interest in the Champions League is now reduced to Mamelodi Sundowns. Sundowns again will be the lone Rangers, will fly the South African flag alone in the CAF Champions League. As a foul there by Zungu a bit late, a bit of a tired looking challenge there on Abudu, brother of Assad, the twin brother of Assad. Gosh, wow, so many interesting little stories in this. You've got two sets of brothers, one set of twins, and a father and son combination in this La Paz side. They have a chance here now to produce something special, maybe from a set piece, and it's going to have to be special to beat the big Rayad Peterson goal. There's a Neo Maema there, will be the blocker there to stop the ball slipping under the wall. It's a three-man committee here. Oh, actually four. Anyone could hit this one. And drilled into the wall. Didn't even look like he got a hold of it properly there. Boto, you know, looking to stretch his legs, the big Moroccan. Yes, another bad challenge. I'm surprised the ref didn't whip out a card there for Rino Radrimanjaka, the other Malagasy fan who's probably previously played for Adema from Madagascar in the Champions League back in 2013. That was a bad challenge. I'm surprised there was no yellow card for that one. There he is, Gerald Murasa and his papa. It's what a story. It's not often that you're going to hear that sort of thing. Oh.
Question is, how does it feel to see his father being punished in this fashion?
I'm sure he takes it in the context.
If I was him, I would have told father, look, stay at home now.
So Dave Mishad is 35 years old, and younger Derot is 17 years old. Just got confirmation of his age. On pitch side. That's a beautiful story. I wonder whether he's allowed to have a go at his dad when his dad messes up.
No. Unacceptable.
Like, we'll take this home. There they are in the same shot.
Just a chip of the old block, eh?
Right, go and protect your old man's far post there. Goes to that back post and palms it down, and oh, wow! Oh, it's the hat-trick! It's the hat-trick! He was not to be denied! Cassius Mailuda! Wow, what a way to bring up the hat-trick! That is some strike!
At the time I thought maybe he was tiring up, and maybe it was just, winding the clock down to see.
He drifted out of the game, yeah.
And he didn't get himself involved with the crowd. He stayed away, looking for an opportunity like this, reacted the quickest from everybody in that area.
Will that be an own goal, I wonder? Will that be classified an own goal, William Shaw? It does come off a keeper. I think, yeah, all right, that will go down as an own goal. Came off the keeper, so unlucky. That's twice now he can count himself unlucky. I think the goal from Hashim Domingo, he had kept out the initial shot, and then that one comes off the crossbar and off the body. So unfortunately, Mailula will be denied a hat-trick. That doesn't stop his celebration.
No.
He's had a very good night.
He's contributed immensely into this result.
He's had a very good night.
Mutupa.
Now, gift Mutupa. Can he get himself a second here? Oh, there's a stray drone. There's opportunity now here from a corner, maybe to add another. Whoa. Powerful header.
This is what he brings as well.
Butoi got up well.
Very well at that. And I think maybe put too much power into his header instead of letting the ball slide on the side of his head. But you see what it brings in there when it comes to aerial presence in set piece situations.
That was certainly a powerful header there. And just couldn't find the target. Job done here. 14-1 on aggregate. 16-1 it was 3 years ago on aggregate. 11-1 on the night. Well, that is in the second leg, when these two sides, or rather when Sundowns set this CAF Champions League record of biggest win. They also did set another record, of course, Sundowns last season, of the biggest haul of points in the group, only to bow out in the quarters. There's our offender who's been flying the drone. It is done so illegally, I can tell you. He knows he's packing his toys. Bastard.
What he doesn't know is that he's been captured.
Because there's rights and all kinds of money that is paid for the right to televise these games and to film these games. So you don't just show up with your equipment and start recording a game. Two minutes remaining then. A little ball over the top and a chance here for another. But the flag goes up belatedly. 2 minutes of minimum of 2 minutes as the flag goes up.
But was he offside though? He was far from.
I don't think he was. Well, hang on, he might have been offside, Mutupa, I think. I think Mutupa was offside.
There's been quite a number of moments where Sundowns deep runs caught the defenders flat-footed.
Here comes Sundowns again. I see Mailula still lurking, still looking for that hat-trick. Zungu. Ralani trying a little flick. Doesn't come off. Oof, was I think Daryl, or at least Afandi Abudu there caught. There's a man who stayed down. Lebusa.
Yeah.
I'm sure every time the coaches see Lebusa go down like that, they get very nervous. Oh, there you go. There's another one for Mutupa. He gets his brace in double quick time. His first 2 goals of the season in his first appearance. Another clinical finish. That's a pass into the net.
Listen, the thing is about him, the quality has always been there. It's just that maybe he doesn't quite get the opportunity to be able to show that. I mean, look, from the close position where he gets the pass from, in the way that he reacted with such speed, not to just hit the ball with his laces, but to side-foot it with that type of power. That is class.
That is cool finishing. Look, you may not have it in your control to get into the side or to get a place in the starting lineup, but we do have the opportunity. You show what you've got.
Exactly.
Wow, what a day or what a night it's been. It's 8-1 now. This becomes the second biggest winning margin now for Mamelodi Sundowns at home in Cape Club competitions. And that's going to be the lot. It's emphatic. It was never in doubt, to be honest, coming into this one. The job was done in the first leg when Sundowns scored 7, what will count as away goals. And the 2016 champions have showed their class here, William Shongwe.
Without a doubt. I mean, Mvala in the center of defense, brilliant, alongside Lebusa. I mean, the middle of the park was no different between him, Kulise. Zungu, in his first game, in a few games as he has played, I think he finishes the game. Surprisingly, fantastic. I mean, Maboa is another that didn't have much that action, but also proved to be quality.
Well, it's been dominant, it's been emphatic, it was stylish. It's Mamelodi Sundowns that run out comfortable winners by 8-1.
In life, we're all faced with those undoubtable no-brainer moments. Those unmissable opportunities that just make sense.
Hey, Baba, what's up?
Hey, Lena, do you need a lift? What's up?
Those simple choices that just make life lekker.
Beer, I'll buy.
Get a risk-free first bet at Sporting Bet. If you lose, you get to have another go. If you win, you win. Sporting Bet, it's a no-brainer.
are a one-stop shopping, assembly, and installation services giant. All under one roof. We stay beating prices with everyday low prices. Why? Because you are the main event. And that's why bringing you updated stores has no end date. But it's only the beginning of a whole new game.
Baby, weight is power. I'm a mom. I make decisions. Go with the bunny. I make the calls at home and work. Swipe right. I make decisions fast. Cheddar mouth schnitzel, please.
Chicken, beef, or pork?
The best decisions are hard. The chicken, beef, or pork cheddar melt schnitzel for only $124.90 each. You'll be spoiled for cheddar melt at Spur. People with a taste for life.
You ready?
Ready to win?
I hope you brought your A game.
It's the only game I have.
Ooh, then you're in trouble.
Nice. I could do this all day.
Come on, bring it.
Woo! Nailed it.
Yes! Rock, beat, scissors, baby!
Best out of 5.
The all-new Corolla Cross GR Sport.
Booyah!
Cross boundaries.
The Premier Soccer League is proud to present football entertainment at its best. The DSTV Premiership. Electrifying, energetic, thrilling, sensational. The DSTV Premiership. Babize Bonke. Here for every fan. Live on SuperSport.
Here at home, they play to a goalless draw against Richards Bay FC. Richard Ofori is back in goal in place, of course, of Siabonga Mpontjane, who drops to the bench. Ofori back from suspension.